Good afternoon, family. Just getting off work again. Decided to go live and drop another thought. If anybody can hear me, hit the one. Make sure that the audio is coming. I see you, Kevin. Peace to you. Shalom, my brother. But if anybody can see me, and if anybody can hear me, hit the one. Make sure that the audio is coming through. I appreciate it. But I just want to. I'm gonna be on here just for a few minutes. Like I said, I'm just getting off work. Got a random little live shot. But I wanted to just drop something off right quick. For those that's been following this page, the world's best kept secret, go ahead and share this video. I'm gonna touch on something concerning us in the diaspora and people, brothers and sisters across the waters in Africa. Just a little something. I think it'll be fruitful. So go ahead and like this video and leave your comments, share it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when the videos are coming on. All right. This is the world's best kept secret. The world's best kept secret, for those that don't know, the world's best kept secret is the people that were taken from West Africa during what was called the transatlantic slave trade. The people that were taken, slaves weren't taken from West Africa. Appreciate it. Okay, all right, gotcha. Appreciate it. Thank you for hitting that one. I apologize for the road noise. I don't know what to do about it. But if y'all can bear with it, I'll just be a few minutes. But the world's, as I was saying, the world's best kept secret is that the people that were taken from West Africa during what was called the transatlantic slave trade, they were not slaves, for one. Let me just make that plain. They didn't take slaves from West Africa. They took people, they took warriors, they took engineers, they took fathers, they took mothers, they took people and made them to be slaves, right? But they didn't take slaves from West Africa. Like, I agree with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He said we got to get the language right. We got to keep it right? So anyway, but the people that were taken from West Africa during what was called the transatlantic slave trade, the people who were made to be slaves were actually descendants of the biblical Israelites. Physical descendant. I'm not talking about by religion. I'm not talking about they converted to nothing. I'm talking about by blood. Like they actually trace back to the Igbo people who are descendants of the biblical Hebrews, to the Ewa people who are descendants, physical descendants. They got the history. The Yoruba, so many tribes over in West Africa who are physical descendants of the biblical Israelites. This ain't a religion. This ain't even a belief. It's just history. Right? It's just history. So that's what the world's best kept secret is. That this page was created basically for that purpose. So that's the world's best kept secret, that the people who were made to be slaves taken from West Africa were descendants, mostly descendants of the biblical Hebrews. And there are Hebrews over in West Africa. I've got a video on my page where I did a live interview with a young lady who was Ewa, and there's so many others out there that will tell you that they are descendants of the biblical Hebrews. I don't want to get into that. Watch the video that's called, Are We Hebrews? Are We Africans? Or Does It Even Matter? Right? That's the title of the video. Watch that video and you'll see some other stuff on there too. But I wanted to talk about something a little different today, but that's the world's best kept secret, right? They said we were Africans, which is true. We are Africans, but there's more to it. Anyway, all right, so, but I wanted to touch on something. I've been doing a lot of research and trying to follow what's going on in Africa. I was listening to African leaders talking about progress over in Africa and what they're trying to do. You know, our in the diaspora, our progress, despite what we think, our progress is linked to Africa's progress, right? Now, there were people over here, there were so-called Africans here already before the slave trade. There were so-called Africans already here, right? Sometimes I don't make that plain, I want to make that plain. But a lot came from West Africa. But anyway, so I was watching that, and they were talking about how they're trying to get their independence where they're not dependent on Europeans and wanting to compete with them. And that's good, right? That's good. I think we should have that mentality over here, not just to be free, but independence. We don't even talk about that. That's not what this video is about, but we need to have that mentality. But I wanted to just say something. So we compare ourselves to America. Africa compares themselves to America. Everybody compares themselves to America, but America had a head start. This is something that I hadn't heard nobody really just ring in on, but I'm going to talk about it. I'm not saying nobody knows it, but America had a head start, and their head start was free labor. America is called the most prosperous, the most powerful country on earth, right? But they are only prosperous because they had, we know this, but I don't think we put this in proper context. They were only prosperous as they are because they had a head start of hundreds of years of free labor. Now, we don't have that advantage, right? If we started our own nation today, we would have to pay for everything. So I'm just saying, so that's the foundation of this country is free labor. Africa don't have that. Africa don't have free labor. So when you have free labor, that's a head start. And I think about Haiti and the Dominican Republic. If anybody know about the Haitian Revolution? Some people do, a lot of people still don't. A lot of people still don't know about the Haitian Revolution, but I don't have time to talk about that in whole, in totality. But the Haitian Revolution is the only time in history where people who were enslaved rose up and won the war and took over the country. But I just don't have time to get into it. Just research the Haitian Revolution. I'm not going to be on here long. But on that island is split in two. So you got Haiti on one side, and you got the Dominican Republic on the other side. Now just listen to it. You got Haiti on one side, it's one island. And it all used to be controlled by Haiti at one point, but it was Haiti on one side and Dominican on the other. Now, if you look at the economic reality of that island, Haiti is the poor side. The Dominican Republic is a prosperous side. But the only reason why the Dominican Republic is the prosperous side is because they had help, right? I'm not trying to get too far into that, you study that, but they had help. Haiti, when they won their independence, everybody shunned them. They wouldn't trade with them. They made them pay all this ridiculous amount of money. It was crazy. So what I wanted to put out there today was that we are in a time where we can't compare ourselves to Europe. We can't compare ourselves to France. We can't compare ourselves to none of these countries who had slavery. What we can do is stop depending on other people to be our salvation as far as how they treat us, because we have everything that we need. I just don't want us to be discouraged, because I think about the children of Israel in the wilderness, and that's where we are right now. We are in the wilderness. This is really what I wanted to say. We are in the wilderness. We are having a wilderness experience. So we are going to have confusion. We're going to have people not agreeing. We're going to have issues with leadership. There's going to be all of that stuff. Even over in Africa right now, there's all of that stuff going on, because they're trying to run governments that aren't indigenous African structure. So yes, it's going to be a lot of stuff going on. It's a wilderness experience. We can't get discouraged though. We can't afford to get discouraged, because we are in the wilderness. We're in the wilderness. So we can't be discouraged in the wilderness. These countries, they fought their way out, but they had a head start money-wise. They had free labor. They had free labor. Free labor is big. Free labor is huge. So we don't have that opportunity. So we can't compare ourselves. Don't compare ourselves to these other people who had free labor. It's kind of like they cheated, right? They had free labor. I'm not complaining. I ain't crying. I don't care about none of that foolishness. I'm just saying, don't be discouraged. That's all I'm saying. I mean, you know, we can do anything, right? But we just got to get our get our heads together and work as one, and stop the foolishness. So, but we're in the wilderness, so don't be discouraged. That's really all I wanted to say. We can't compare ourselves to people who had a head start. Free labor is a head start. We don't compare ourselves to people who had a head start. Right. So I really wanted to make this real short. I'm gonna cut it off right now. I just wanted to encourage. This is just a random thought as I was studying on Africa and looking at some things that was going on, and I'm inspired. I'm inspired by what I'm seeing over there, because I want us over here in the diaspora to look more, have a nation mentality, instead of expecting for these laws to be our savior. They are only as good as the people who enforce them, and we should know by now that's not going to go our way. It's just, racism is not going to go away. It's not going to go away. There always has been good and evil, and there always will be good and evil until the end time, until Jesus comes back, Yeshua, the Messiah, whatever you want to call him. There always will be good and evil. Racism is evil. So if we're expecting for racism to go away, or we're waiting for somebody to treat us right, that's not good for us. So I just wanted us to be encouraged. Like I said, like and subscribe, comment, what are your thoughts about this? Share the video. I've got a lot more to say, but I just don't have time to say it. But share the video. God bless everybody. Hope everybody's enjoying your day. I want us to be encouraged, though, as a people. We are better together. Right? We are better together. There's no people on earth that agree on everything. We got to get out of that, too. Everybody's not going to agree. Everybody's not going to agree. Unity is an institution, and there is room for many views in this institution called unity. We don't have to agree. We need to agree on a direction, but we don't have to agree on every little thing. That's just not reality. But we've got to come together and move in one direction, and we can do that. Right? So anyway, God bless everybody. Enjoy your day. Shalom. All right. Our ancestors were descendants of the biblical Israelites. That is the world's best kept secret. Not all of them, but most of them were. But you can trace your tribe back, trace your ancestry back. You'll see that blood, we weren't just Africans. All right. Anyway, God bless everybody. Shalom, family. Thank you for chiming in. All right, peace.